Hello everybody, welcome back to Flower Club. Here's a sneak peek of what we're making today. It's going to be a little bit of a cool weather Flower Club. We have some things that have just come back into season, so let's introduce them. Let's see what we have. So we have some gorgeous calendula, and we have some beautiful ageratum, lovely yellow iris, and a little bit of viburnum for our foliage. So we've got some beautiful colours going on here and some lovely winter things like the iris that have just come through. Just saw them at market, and this gorgeous yellow, I couldn't resist. So let's get started. I'm going to design into this. I've been really loving this. This is a really good size. If anyone doesn't have a vase this particular size, I think this is 20 centimetres by about 12 centimetres, I think is the opening of the diameter, maybe even 15. Kind of short and squat and wider opening. Nice, I like it. So, beautiful, vibrant orange calendulas. They might come a little bit closed. They do open and close with the light, so they'll open as they're exposed to the sunlight. They've got lots of really thick leaves, lots of thick foliage. I'm gonna take off a lot of it. I want it to be quite bushy and work with kind of the foliage that we have already on the stems, as well as the viburnum. So lots of texture, lots of green. And they do have some interesting shape, some of the stems, so I really do love that. And if there's any kind of bung stems, just get rid of it. And calendula is native to the Mediterranean, and it's used in it has a lot of medicinal skincare purposes. It's an ingredient in a lot of skincare if you have ever used anything. And this arrangement might not last as long as our ones that we've done the last couple of weeks. Is 2 weeks old, and it kind of looks the same as when we made it 2 weeks ago. But this one, the vase life on these flowers is between, maybe 5 and 7 days. So just keeping them away from the heater, direct sunlight, just keep them in a place where that would be ideal. Now, the ageratum. I love this flower. It's also known as floss flower. You can see it's just got almost cloud-like flowers at the top. Kind of one of the few flowers that are naturally blue. So they're native to Guatemala and Mexico. Taking off the lower leaves I normally would. I'm going to leave a little bit up the top. We want to make sure all of the stem in the water is completely clean of any foliage. We do want to give it the fighting chance that it deserves. So nice and clean. And the bunches of ageratum are quite substantial. The grower said that, some of them can have up to 20 stems. So nice amount of volume for us. So I think it's a lot of prep. So, this one's got kind of an interesting situation going on. I'm going to separate out those ones. I can always keep the small ones. They might be a little bit too short to fit into our vase, but we'll put them to the side nevertheless. Now this one's got kind of an interesting curve going on. And now for our lovely iris. They might come in various stages of openness. Some might come really tight like this. Some might come a little bit more open. I picked out some more open ones just to show you in the design. But if they come really tight, then that's great. They'll, they might not show their full color just yet, but that's the beauty, the blooming process. It's really exciting. And they will come pretty stiff. And the great thing about iris is they'll soften up as they're in the vase, and then they'll start to kind of have a little bit more flow. They'll start to move a little bit and have some interesting kind of bending. So the shape kind of keeps developing as the vase arrangement kind of sits there. It's quite fun to watch. Alrighty, I'm just peeling off longer pieces. And iris is native in a lot of different places. It's native to the Mediterranean, parts of Turkey, the Caucasus region, so like Azerbaijan, Georgia, and also North Africa. So quite wide, and they're grown in kind of swampy areas. And I love them. They're one of my favorite flowers. I say that about every flower, but I really do love them. I love the look of viburnum. I don't know if not everyone smells this. It smells like petrol, which is so weird. I think it's like a thing, how some people think that coriander tastes like soap. I think that viburnum smells like petrol. Actually, more like burning rubber. Alrighty, I'm going to build a kind of chunky base of viburnum, kind of quite low in the vase, to add a little bit of structure and something for all of our other flowers to kind of grip onto. Measure against the vase, see how much I need to cut off, and see that it's going to hit the water about there. I'm going to cut on an angle. Cutting on an angle also means that when you put it into the vase and it meets the bottom of the vase, it's not going to be sitting flat, which then blocks all of its, it's not going to block it from drinking up the stem. Cool, so I've got a little kind of base, giving me some nice structure. My calendula, I'm going to find the ones that have a little bit of a curve to them. I do love the ones that have a kind of quite a severe curve. It's just creates some really nice movement in the vase rather than all just standing straight up to attention. I'm going to kind of color block a little bit. I like that look, especially with the colors, but you can make it a bit more whimsical. Them. See how I've clustered 3 bigger ones, the rule of 3. Clustered 3 larger ones, oh that's 4, 3 smaller ones, kind of 3, and then that's why my shape is kind of starting to form. I wanted one really tall one so it can bloom open and kind of do its thing, and then keeping them all quite low. Group of 3, kind of more of an asymmetrical moment, and then I'm going to fill in with my beautiful Ageridum. So I'm going to kind of bring it low and kind of throughout the orange. I love orange and blue. I think it's such a beautiful combo. So yeah, have fun with this because we have so much of it. You can just go crazy. We are all done with our wild arrangement. Have fun with this one this week. You don't have to have it be too structured. You can just let the flowers do the talking. So have a great rest of your week. Happy designing. See you next time. Bye.